Well, there's coffee at the front desk, and I could use some. So, the famous stories that we're touching on are in Star Trek The Next Generation, and they're the stories about the Traveler character, and right now um, his Clippy. His Clippy is a Star Trek engineer named Kaczynski. Anyways, you can watch that episode. If I can find it, I'll write the episode name down below here. There's more than one episode of Star Trek The Next Generation with the Traveler. But the episode that we like to refer to is the episode with Kaczynski, the engineer. Just because so many of you people, whether you have an engineering degree or not, so many of you people consider yourselves to be engineers. And you know, a lot of you people like to engineer your future. We have one answer. I'm going to see if we have my. Okay, that first answer, what was the question again? Oh, it seems like we lost the question, we lost the answer. No, it was engineering your future. Well, I don't know, like exactly what do people do when they engineer their future? I'm doing a lot of stuff like it's very quiet with me talking, but I'm getting, claircognizant stuff with other people that are some of the regular people that come here, through synthetic telepathy. Remote neural monitoring is the name of the machine technology that the terrorists gave me. And they haven't changed it. They've been using that terminology, remote neural monitoring, for the high technology. Don't forget, this technology was disclosed to you in the 1990 movie Firefox with Clint Eastwood, where he used telepathy to fly a Russian jet fighter. 1990, over 30 years ago. So the technology does exist. And the technology exists to use that horrible machine to torture me, apparently, forever. So it's just, it's synthetic telepathy, remote neural monitoring technology. It's synthetic telepathy, which implies there is real telepathy, and that this is only an engineered solution to simulate telepathy. But, this military technology that was developed and is being used against me is only one way that the military-industrial complex has been looking at making super soldiers. Well, that's a technology solution. We'll just use technology to build telepathy as near as we can make it. In the movie The Men Who Stare at Goats, the Army took the other path as well. The human solution. And the human solution was The Men Who Stare at Goats movie. So, today's movie of the day that you can go look it up and watch. I don't think it's on Netflix, so you'll have to stream it. But, usually it's between $3 and $10 for a streamed movie. And sometimes you're lucky and you can find a free one. But, for the sake of $10, that's what you pay to go to the movie theater, more or less. Anyways, The Men Who Stare at Goats is the story about the U.S. military making super soldiers the old-fashioned way, using the built-in technology of the human. What they didn't know, well, lots of stories. I'm sure they had lots and lots of stories about people with superpowers, and then just having a bunch of soldiers, and their full-time job is to figure out how they develop super soldier powers from the innate human being. The Men Who Stare at Goats. Why? Because you need to get a good idea that a long time ago, the militaries were doing research into making super soldiers based upon the innate abilities that are perhaps not activated yet in the human. And then finding out how to activate them. Because that's a psychic attack on me by some vicious, violent shit things. And that's a vicious, violent attack being told to fuck right off. But anyways, I don't need to do this all day because it's symbolic. It's only symbolic, and me doing the symbol 500 million more times doesn't do anything. It's all drama. Attacking me again and again and again ain't gonna change your future, terrorists. Lake of Fire is the only answer. The only answer for people that want to know what happens to terrorists who terrorize. They go to the Lake of Fire, just like it says in the Bible. Period. Torturing me, more or less, doesn't make a whit of difference, does it? It doesn't. The Lake of Fire is the Lake of Fire is the Lake of Fire. Once you're in, you ain't never getting out. And anybody who's doing terrorism has sealed their fate the first time they did terrorism. No one's going to say that the first act of terrorism was just dipping your big toe into the Lake of Fire to see if it's hot. When you have murder in your heart, you're a terrorist. Terrorism is a penalty called capital punishment in the country of Pakistan. I'm really curious, and I forgot to look again. Well, it's in wrong terminology because I don't forget. Everything is given, as you all know. But anybody wants to know, it's still on the open book things to do to go look up in Islamic law. What happens to people that are devils? Is it still the lake of fire? I have no idea. I have zero idea. So it's on the list of things to go look it up. So that's 2 things for you to look it up today.